So you might remember about a month ago, Alex Jones and InfoWars were taken off of Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, LinkedIn, even of all places, all within 24 hours. And who knows if there was actually legitimate collusion there, whether they all met up beforehand and decided to do it, or what I think to be most likely, that they got to there, that instead of getting together, one account did it. Maybe the second account saw the first account do it, say, hey, we can nail him for the same thing, and then everyone pretty much piled on from there on. It's like one person does it, then everyone else follows along. Well, since then, Twitter has been really known for, Twitter's known for just banning people outright for all kinds of things. I mean, they banned Milo, they banned Tommy Robinson, they temporarily ban all kinds of other people. There's plenty of other people that I can't think of that come to mind that have been permanently banned. Sargon Makad was permanently banned. But for some reason, they didn't ban Alex Jones on that day. Like, they were the one major social media company to say, well, we can't actually ban him. And of course, since then, all these other accounts and social media sites and organizations have been campaigning against Twitter to say, like, hey, you got to take him off, you got to take him off, you got to remove him. Will Wheaton made some kind of personal pledge saying if by August 18th, Alex Jones is not off of Twitter, I personally will quit Twitter, which he did. Thank God. He has me blocked, so no, I don't really have much sympathy for him there. But yeah, so now he's banned off of Twitter. He was banned yesterday at the time of this recording. Banned yesterday from Twitter, and that was the last big social media platform. Now, what happened when he was banned from the first batch was everyone started downloading the InfoWars app. Like, I did. I never even opened the app since then. I haven't played it. I know plenty of other people that have downloaded the app, haven't even opened it. But they downloaded it just to support him. He was getting all kinds, like the InfoWars app went up to within the top 10 on the screenshot here. It was actually number 4 on the thumbnail for the article. On the iTunes charts, like, it went up high because people saw what was happening. They're like, okay, they're legitimizing this guy. I should figure out what he's trying to say. So they did. And now, as you can see from the article right here, Apple has removed him from the App Store, has removed the InfoWars app from the App Store. And that pretty much just leaves the Google Play Store as the only other thing. Like, there's his website. But besides that, the Google Play Store is the only, like, big name social media, if you can call it that, like, or media platform, if you want to call it that, that has his content, that has the InfoWars content. Now, luckily enough, Paul Joseph Watson, who works for InfoWars, does a lot of stuff with InfoWars. He has not been banned, although he has been, he's on a temporary suspension, I believe, by Facebook, or by Twitter, actually. He was put on a temporary suspension, so he can't post anything. But yeah, so now he's off of pretty much everything. And again, like, I'm not even focusing, I'm using Alex Jones as an example here because it is happening to him. But yeah, if it happens to him, he's going to be the first, because this is like testing the waters, where if you can ban Alex Jones, then you can ban pretty much everybody, because Alex Jones is the crazy guy that a lot of people will support on principle, but I'm not saying he's crazy, but I'm saying, like, he's viewed as, like, that crazy guy that the average person doesn't really want to support because they like him, but those that are the most principled will generally say, okay, I support I support him, and I don't believe he should be banned off these networks. Again, I still believe that that these companies have the right to ban him. I just think it's awful. It's absolutely awful, and it's scary. It's scary because they have pretty much unpersoned him. Like, he's completely off any social media site besides the Google Play Store. So there are a bunch of smaller social media sites, which the whole reason these social media sites have popped up that I'm about to mention, they have popped up with the specific intention of saying, we are not going to do this to you. We are not going to ban your platform. Or we're not going to ban not going to ban you from our platform. The only thing we'll ban you for is if, of course, you do anything illegal. Of course, like, kind of like human trafficking, like drug trade, stuff that they could be nailed for, stuff that is, like, actually illegal. But in terms of free speech issues, you're pretty much fine. You can post whatever you want, and you will not get banned. That's the whole point of these sites. Now, before I move on to those and show an example, well, I don't know what I just did. Oh, I must have reloaded the page. This is a post from Oliver Darcy, who I guess has a big hand in actually banning Alex Jones. I guess he was at the trial there, where, if you haven't seen it, look it up, where there was a congressional hearing with Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, and a few other people. And Alex Jones, being who he normally is, was like was part of the journalist trying to ask him questions, trying to get to him and shout stuff at him. But I mean, obviously, like, peaceful protesting, nothing against that. But it's, if you've ever seen an Alex Jones video of him like on the streets, that's what he was doing. So Oliver Darcy posted this: important to note that tech platforms did not enforce their own rules and take action against Alex Jones / Infowars on their own accord. It took media outlets to point out for weeks that Infowars was skirting the rules on these tech platforms for them to enforce own standards. So if you don't know, like, the terms and conditions of all these social media sites are very vague. Like, they can ban you for hate speech. And again, what is hate speech? Like, it's so vague at the moment that they can ban you for pretty much anything, honestly. It's the thing where if someone views it as hate speech, anyone views it as hate speech, whether legitimate or not, it can be taken down. And basically anything even remotely controversial for that reason can be taken down. Anything outside the Overton window of allowable opinion can be taken down. And so I think it's interesting here that they said it took media outlets to point out for weeks that Infowars were skirting the rules. So, like, for weeks, it seems, at least since the other social media outlets banned him, for weeks, they've been other media sites who, remember, are his business competitors. Like, CNN is a competitor of Infowars. Fox News is a competitor of Infowars, especially because they're competing for the same demographic. Again, MSNBC is a competitor of Infowars. All these sites are all competitors for Infowars. They might be seeking different, like, demographics. They might have a different audience, but overall they have the same overall audience of they're all news websites that are trying to show people the news. They want people to go to them for the news. So remember that, like, there's an obvious bias here. It's like these are competitors. And in that sense, even if you take out the politics, it's still business of, okay, we want to take down our competitors because we're competing for market share. But it looks like these sites, unsurprisingly, were actually, like, putting a lot of pressure on social media sites to saying, hey, take him down, like, take him off these sites. And of course, again, like, so many things Alex Jones have said can be labeled as hate speech if you just have the overarching vague term of anything I don't like is hate speech. So that's why he was taken off. But I just find that interesting that it was pressure. There was a lot of pressure was put on, which is unsurprising in retrospect. But yes, next on to basically the other social media sites that haven't done this to him and don't plan to. Because again, like I said earlier, with Alex Jones, anyone, like, they did it with Alex Jones, I believe, to test the waters. Because if you're going to find anyone that's accused of hate, like, that can be painted as a crazy person, whether you like him or dislike him. Again, I'm trying to be neutral when it comes to Alex Jones, because that's not the point. Like, who Alex Jones is specifically is not the point. It's talking about he is a guy that they could take down, and they realize that the average person would not defend him because the average person sees him as crazy. And of course, I'm defending him because, again, I mean, I watch his stuff on occasion, not that much. I prefer other stuff. But of course, they wanted to take him down because they figured if they can get away from him, okay, then they can try someone else. They can try someone different and see where they can go from there. So, a list of a few websites here. If this is going to work, it probably won't. I will just do that. Oh, that's why it didn't work. Okay, so BitChute, for one. I will unfull screen it. BitChute is the one site that is the biggest competitor to YouTube, and in my opinion has the biggest chance of actually succeeding compared to all of these social media platforms. This one seems to have the highest web traffic. This one seems to use peer-to-peer, which is apparently cheaper than what YouTube uses in just storing all of their videos and servers in their own, like, hardware. So they're taking an actual stab at it. As you can see, I'm on BitChute. I believe it's bitchute.com/channel/ I'll actually have to look, /nkreider. And Alex Jones is on there. BitChute is advertised saying, hey, we have Alex Jones on here. Like, when he was banned, BitChute was coming out and saying, we have him. We will not ban him. So I have to admire that. BitChute has done really good lately. They're taking donations, and they've done surprisingly well. They're at 58%, and I believe it's been out for a month and a half of their... I don't know what the goal was, but it's a lot. I think it's like 40 grand. But they're doing pretty well. So, of course, if you haven't already, try BitChute out. In my opinion, like, some of these sites I really have to try to use. Like, when Gab first came out, I tried using it. It wasn't that good. I just couldn't. I went back to Twitter. Now, since then, it's gotten better, so I use Gab and I use Twitter. BitChute is very good. Like, it's not something you have to go out of your way to use to support it. It's something that I actually enjoy using. I watch videos on here. It's a good site, and I can see it being a legitimate YouTube competitor. It's not just something that will kind of stay as like 1% the size of YouTube for the next like 5 decades or so. It's something that actually has a legitimate chance. And of course, again, they're not going to ban you. If you haven't put your stuff here like I have. Even at the very least, what I recommend, the whole reason I'm making this video, honestly, like this is one of the biggest things, is just to say, go, make an account, and then follow the people you like, and then maybe bookmark it, and then never touch it again. If you don't like the site, never touch it again. Just put it as a bookmark, and subscribe to all the people you like. Because then, if someone is ever banned, like again, Alex Jones was banned, I can't imagine that people like Tommy Robinson will be around for much longer. I mean, he doesn't do much YouTube, but I can't imagine he'll be around for much longer. A lot of people are saying they're going after Joe Rogan. I don't think that's the case because Joe Rogan has such a big following. And I get it, Alex Jones has a big following, but Joe Rogan has such a big following. And he's done a very good job of not really, like, putting himself into any specific political, like, ideological chamber or ideological circle. He has maintained pretty much the high ground of, like, of just being kind of like being a part of a little bit of everything. So I don't think they'll try to go after him. But again, if they do, that's where you head to BitChute, because chances are this is where people will go next. If someone is banned and you like their content and they were suddenly banned, this is probably where they are. If they're not here already, this is where they'll go when they're banned, because this is the second biggest site. I mean, you have Dailymotion and Vimeo. I have tried to use those sites. I have like 4 videos on each of those websites, and it's aggravating to upload. I don't like it. They don't have any specific commitment to free speech, and therefore it's not that good. I just don't enjoy it. Now, there were sites like, you may have heard of these before, VidMe and PewTube. Both of those are gone. PewTube pretty much just shut down and disappeared, and I haven't heard anything, not even a statement. So they're both gone. There's no luck with them. Don't even bother. BitChute seems to be the only, like, decent competitor. Now the next one. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Minds.com. This is a Facebook competitor. I really enjoy Minds. This is something, again, like I have tried to use. They use, if you're not aware, they use crypto technology. They put out tokens. If you've ever played a game on your phone where it's like, oh, they reward you with tokens, this is how this works. You put out good content, they reward you with tokens. You can use those tokens to buy basically ad space on the website. So again, when you have your feed, the first image or the first post on your feed will be an advertisement, and it'll cycle through as long as you're on there. It'll be an ad, and that's from people boosting using their tokens. Again, like if you get a thumbs up on your post, that gives you a little bit of a token. If people subscribe to you, that gives you a little bit of a token, that kind of thing. I think that is a neat idea. That's something that will really take off. You put out good stuff, you get an actual like monetary reward that you can physically see, that's quantifiable. You can see it. But I very much enjoy this site. As far as I know, I guess there was some kind of controversy earlier that I didn't follow too closely. But as far as I know, they haven't actually banned anyone for any illegitimate reason. Let's see. Next, I believe, is Gab. Gab's the one you've probably heard of as like the alt-right Twitter. It's Gab.ai. Granted, it is pretty much an alt-right Twitter. There are a lot of alt-right people here. But that's because Gab is the free speech platform. Like, the thing is, when you put out a free speech platform, when you put out a platform and you're entirely committed to free speech, that's your whole like marketing thing of, this is free speech. We won't ban you, again, unless it's actually illegal, then they kind of have to. If that's their whole advertising thing, you're going to basically get people that are banned from Twitter. Like someone that doesn't say anything controversial, they have no reason to use Gab. They'll just use Twitter because they don't say anything controversial and they don't have to worry. But anyone that says anything even remotely controversial, they have to go to Gab because they'll risk being banned if they stay on Twitter, or if they haven't already been banned. I haven't been banned. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to make any accusations, I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned on Twitter, because when I started out, I was getting all kinds of impressions, like thousands and thousands of impressions, and I'm doing the exact same thing. Or for a while, I was doing now I've kind of let off now because there's no point. But for a while, I was doing the exact same thing, and the impressions were steadily declining, and now they're like nothing. So I don't know if that's just that the people that follow me don't use Twitter anymore. I have no idea why I'm not saying for sure. But like, it's no fun to use Twitter. Like, for some reason I don't get impressions, and maybe that's my own fault, because that's the thing. I don't want to like take something as my fault and blame Twitter for it. So it might be my fault. But Gab, I don't use that much. Like, I use it on occasion. I mean, I post all my videos and stuff on here, like links to them and that. And I occasionally post other stuff. But for the most part, I just get Gab followers. I get all kinds of Gab followers. I get likes on my posts. And I don't have to do too much. Whereas Twitter, it just kind of goes into the abyss, and 20 people saw it despite having 2,000 followers. And I'm never to be seen again. And of course, here on Gab, 2,000 followers, and I'll get people that like my posts, which is nice. So for the most part, like Gab, like, yeah, you're going to find obviously like a heavily right-wing bias here, and also a libertarian bias. But that's because those are the people that aren't allowed on Twitter. Those are the people that get banned. Now I believe that's it, if I'm screwing this up. One more. That was one off. Bullhorn. This is one that I know very little about, but I thought I'd include it anyway, because what happened was it came up on... it came up as a Facebook advertisement, like, Alex Jones, like, we have Alex Jones here. So apparently this site, which is so unpopular that if you search for Bullhorn on Google, it gets to it doesn't even come up on the first page, at least not for me, because apparently there are other sites that are named Bullhorn that are way more popular. So this site is not that popular. The site is bullhorn.fm. I don't know why you would do that instead of .com or I don't know why you wouldn't come up with a better name, but it's a podcatcher. If you don't know what a podcatcher is, it's just a podcast app that downloads podcasts for you, streams podcasts for you, and it takes all the ones from the big sites. So like if you wanted to listen to Alex Jones in podcast format, this is the site you would go to. This is a site you would go to. Now again, I haven't used it much. I'm just putting this out there because I haven't used it much. I downloaded the app. I opened it once since then. But I thought it included because they are advertising as, hey, we have Alex Jones here, which makes me believe they're at least committed to free speech enough to say, hey, like, these are people that everyone else has banned, but we'll still have. Because Alex Jones is the test. Like, that's the thing. Alex Jones is kind of like the free speech test. Because, again, like, if they ban me, I've said controversial things, but I haven't said things that are that controversial. At least not Alex Jones level controversial. And like, if they haven't banned me, okay, like, that doesn't say much. If they ban Alex Jones, then that says, okay, like, can they be swayed by political pressure? Are they committed to free speech? Because as far as I know, Alex Jones has not called for violence. He's done some pretty outrageous things, and as far as I can tell, a lot of it's satire. Like, he's serious in what he says, but he's very satirical about the way he says things, about the way he says the news. And the fact that he does 4 hours of shows a day means there is no way I can say what he has and hasn't said, especially considering he's done this for at least a decade now. That is just, there's no way I'm gonna like listen to all that stuff and find out like what he said when and where. All I can say is when people accuse him of things, when different articles say this is what he did, this is what he did, this is what he said, especially with the Sandy Hook thing, which I'm going to assume is true, but I'm skeptical, because can I see Alex Jones saying stuff like that and causing people to go after? Can I see members of his audience being influenced by that to go after family members like that and harass them? Yes, I can see that happening. However, every time in the past someone like references Alex Jones and said, here's something bad he's done, oddly enough, they don't cite their source. Like, they cite other sources that talk about other things, like they talk about what he said, but they never cite like a video clip. They never cite like a good 2-3 minute long video clip of him actually saying certain stuff. Now again, Sandy Hook thing, I believe he is totally wrong in that. Like, that is, I hope I don't know if he's apologized for that, but I hope he has. I hope he knows he was wrong. I hope he treads a lot more carefully, because that is like, that's a black mark on him. But that's all I'm saying, is because I know that there are things like when occasionally I'll watch his show. Like, I watched his election stream for the 2016 election. I watched that. People or certain news sites would say certain things. They would take clips of what he said out of context. And I know, because I went back and listened to the original stream, they would take things out of context. And it's like, okay, of all the people that you don't need to take out of context is Alex Jones. Like Alex Jones is the one that is saying, like, he'll title articles like demon vampires in Congress and stuff like that, which again, it's obviously satire in a sense that they're all metaphors. He's not actually saying He doesn't seriously believe they're demon vampires, at least as far as I can tell. But yeah, every time that I've been able to personally fact check something they've accused him of saying, they take out of context, which makes me wonder. Like, it really makes me wonder, because the Sandy Hook thing is indefensible. Like, I'm not going to defend that, which is why I wonder if that's, like, I question the legitimacy of that. Again, like, 80% chance it's probably true, but I'm skeptical just in case, because I can't find any actual, like, here's a clip of what he said, this is why it's bad, of him saying, like, go out and harass people. I can't find a full, like, unedited clip that's, like, I found clips where they take 10 seconds of what he said, but again, it's 10 seconds out of a 3-minute speech, and you can, the things he said, if you just take second clips like that, you can make him say whatever you want. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. This is pretty much it. I guess I'll go back to the original page. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Use the alternative media sites. I know a bunch of people are campaigning for, like, we need to regulate these social media companies. Honestly, like, I'm against that mostly for practical reasons, believe it or not. Against it for practical reasons. I don't think telling the government, which is infested with the people that don't want Alex Jones on the air, telling them to regulate social media companies is not going to work. And of course, once you start regulating certain companies like that have a monopoly, you kind of tie them in stone. Like, Facebook, I do not believe will be around in 10 years. Twitter, I'm surprised if it'll be around in 5 years. I mean, I'm making predictions now. I don't think they'll be around then. However, if you start regulating them and tying them to government, I think we will be stuck with them. Because remember that if we were to actually get legislation passed and say they're not allowed to ban Alex Jones and they reinstate him, well, then it comes down to, are they still shadow banning people? If they are, how do you prove that they're shadow banning people? How do you find legitimate proof that they're, like, again, it just seems like they're still going to find ways to do it. And if they satisfy people enough, like they bring back Alex Jones, say they satisfy people enough, well, there goes BitChute, there goes Minds, there goes Gab. They're going to lose a big portion of their audience because now people are saying, okay, there are laws against it, so now we're going to have to settle for Facebook and Twitter and other sites like these that definitely want to block certain people if they could get away with it, and are probably going to do certain things behind the scenes like messing with the algorithms and shadow banning. And that's assuming we get a good law to begin with that actually works. We're not going to have these sites. I think instead you support the sites, you at least try to use them. If not, just create an account and bookmark it, and just in case someone you like gets banned, then you'll be able to check them. I just think, like, that's the best way to go. That's the best way if you're looking at a long-term solution. But anyway, this has gone on for way too long. This was supposed to be a 6-minute video. We're going on for 22 minutes and 50 seconds. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, disagree. If you have anything to add that you think I missed, again, post it in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. And thanks for watching.